After being comforted in her parents' arms for a moment, Ayla wiped away her tears and spoke again. But, the information I had was too limited. I thought I could deal with it if I knew what he was up to. So when Byron confessed that he had been gathering information using the infiltration techniques she had taught him, Ophelia was shocked and reprimanded her. Did you leave your bedroom every night and wander around? It's too dangerous. What if they caught you? Clearly, her mother was scolding her, but strangely, Ayla felt incredibly happy. It was very different from what she felt when Byron, whom she believed to be her biological father, scolded her. Maybe. Ophelia's reprimand was filled with affection and concern for her. That's what he thought. And then I met His Highness the Crown Prince. Roderick opened his mouth in a more forgiving voice than Ophelia. There was some admiration in his eyes as he looked at his daughter. He also agreed that it was a very risky move. But in the end, thanks to that, he saved Winfred from an assassination threat and was able to contact them. How could it not be wonderful? Yeah. It was then that I discovered Byron's true identity. Winfred told me. Although he already knew that Ayla and Winfred were so close that they could call each other by their first names, Roderick coughed, somewhat awkwardly. It wasn't because it was against etiquette not to call the Crown Prince by his honorary title. It was only because he felt sorry that his daughter, whom he had gotten back after 10 years, was already getting along with another man. And Ayla, completely oblivious to Roderick's petty jealousy, briefly explained what happened next. Roderick and Ophelia could not hide their surprise when they heard that Cloud had saved her from being discovered. Did he save you? Yeah. He said he already suspected I knew the secret. After finishing explaining what happened at Scott and Debbie's cabin, Ayla let out a long sigh. After that, as you both know, I spent some time at the Herzog estate. I see. And I have organized the information I have collected so far. Ayla rubbed her fingers vigorously to summon the magic box Winfred had given her. Then, a glittering box of purple jewels appeared in the air. Oh, that box. Ophelia recognized the box he had given to Winfred and expressed her joy. He already knew the box was with Ayla, but seeing it in person made him feel the strange connection again. What a coincidence that the box he had made ended up in the hands of his daughter through Winfred. Ah, this. Winfred gave it to me. As Ayla opened the jewelry box with a strangely excited expression, Roderick felt renewed discomfort and unbuttoned his shirt. Although summer was almost over and there was no reason for it to be hot, the air in the room felt somehow stifling. I know. In fact, I gave it to His Highness the Crown Prince as a birthday gift a few years ago. Ophelia was so absorbed in looking at her daughter with such happy eyes that she didn't notice her husband's discomfort. And Ayla's eyes widened as she discovered something she didn't know before. Oh, I see. I didn't know. He knew that his mother was from the Timor Republic, the land of wizards. So he wondered if he had a connection to the most powerful wizard in the world. It seemed as if he had no idea that the creator was Ophelia. But I think the summoning spell was a whistle. How did it change? At Ophelia's question, the girl's face immediately turned bright red. Unlike Roderick, who had blushed red and blue with unbridled anger, his cheeks were a beautiful pink, born of shame and shame. I can't whistle. She had tried to practice alone several times since Winfred gave her this box, but every time she did, she only got a sound of discouragement. My God, really? He wanted to hide in a hole, but his mother laughed, as if she found the situation funny. Ayla had to bury her hot face in the jewelry box. Oh, don't laugh, Mother. Even Winfred laughed at Ayla, who couldn't whistle, and told her she was cute, and even her mother did the same. When Ayla felt a sense of betrayal, Ophelia comforted her with a soft voice. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to make fun of you. I just laughed because you sound just like your dad. And he doesn't know how to whistle either. Are you sure? Ayla lifted her face from her deep bow and looked at Roderick. Her eyes seemed to ask if her mother's words were true. Yeah. I guess it's because you look like me that you don't know how to whistle. Roderick whistled to comfort his daughter, although every time Ayla tried to whistle, all she got was a buzzing sound, surprisingly similar to his own. And seeing him, Ayla felt strangely comforted. I wasn't the only one who didn't know how to whistle. Neither does his father. His oral structure seemed to resemble that of his mother, but interestingly, his inability to whistle resembles that of his father. Oh, come to your senses. Now is not the time for this. Ayla was about to take the note out of the box, but realized that the conversation had gotten sidetracked, so she hurriedly opened the box. Well, this is the information I have organized so far. He took out his notes and showed them to his parents. He had said that he had organized them in his own way, but the papers were all different sizes, so they didn't seem to be organized well. It happened because I stole a little piece of paper from somewhere every day and wrote it down without leaving a trace. Part of the note was written on the back of a paper on which Capella had written down his weekly menu and shopping list, and part on a sales receipt he had stolen from an inn. But Roderick and Ophelia didn't seem to mind these confusing roles at all. You have picked it up very well. It's pretty neat. Roderick frowned as he turned the pages. Many people joined Byron's rebellion. It was completely unexpected that even foreign nobles were lining up to support Byron. As she read the note with a serious expression, Ophelia noticed something else. Your handwriting is very beautiful. When did you practice it separately? The handwriting must have shown experience, and the note seemed skilled and expert, even for a girl Ayla's age. The long hours of practice were also noticeable. Oh, that's... Ayla looked embarrassed, not knowing how to respond. His handwriting had been corrected in his previous life, when he learned basic etiquette at the Duke's house. Until then, I had learned to read and write, but I had never had the opportunity to write, so it was a shame not to be able to show off. Really, people I never imagined were helping Byron. I must meet His Majesty the Emperor as soon as dawn breaks and take care of these people. But as Roderick, who was reading the documents, brought up the topic, Ayla didn't have a chance to answer her mother's question, as she was busy trying to stop him. Oh no. Father. What do you mean no? Roderick asked in a perplexed voice at his daughter's desperate attempt to stop him. Not yet. No. Byron, if you want to catch him suddenly, you can't isolate his assistants. If you do, it will hide even more. You could lose your chance to catch it forever. So I had to set a trap for him. I had to make him believe that everything was fine. Although his daughter's words made sense, Roderick seemed doubtful. Then you would have to continue acting as a double agent. Yes, that's exactly it. I continued pretending that I didn't know anything, pretending to follow his orders. Ayla nodded. He planned to tell his parents everything about his plan. But his plan met with opposition from Roderick before it could come to light. That is absolutely prohibited. Yes, I think so too. Now that you are home, there is no need to worry about him anymore. Let the adults catch the traitor. What's more, even Ophelia agreed with his opinion. Ayla looked at her parents with an embarrassed expression. She knew they were worried about her, but she couldn't help but feel embarrassed. He desperately wanted to take revenge on Byron with his own hands. When he returned to the past and had another chance, he vowed to return all the despair he had endured. But it was something I couldn't let go. And above all, if Ayla gave any sign of not listening to Byron, he would immediately activate the curse he had placed on her and kill her. It was ironic that they did something out of concern, but it actually ended up threatening their life. Mother, father. I can do it. I knew he was my enemy, but I've been lying to him for over a year. I really want revenge for ruining my life with my own hands. Ayla. I don't like sitting there waiting for him to get caught.